Do you really know how to exercise? Are you spending your time on the best possible thing to look better, feel better, and perform better long term? The reality is that for most of us that are doing some form of exercise, we are spending our time in the least beneficial way possible, and we are missing out on the many benefits that exercising in the right way can give us. So what way can we mess up something that seems simple? We have what we call the hierarchy of exercise, from the most important to the least important. Most important being mobility, then you've got strength, then low intensity activity, and then finally high intensity activity. Most of us who exercise though have this upside down, either starting or only doing something like running or a HIIT session, which falls into the activity categories, where most of us, if not everyone, should be spending the majority of time on mobility and strength first before we go near any of the other areas. The most important thing that everyone should be starting with is mobility. This is the ability to get into some basic positions, such as squatting all the way to the floor, being able to hinge at the hips, being able to do a push-up with the chest hitting the floor, or being able to hang from a bar with your body straight. Before even all this, it might seem more simple than it is having the posture to stand upright. The next most important category, once you have the mobility to get into certain positions, is strength. This is the ability to express strength in these positions, such as picking an object up equivalent to your own body weight from the floor, being able to squat with that same object, being able to do 20 push-ups to the floor with the chest hitting the floor each time, and being able to do 10 chin-ups. Once our body is both moving into positions correctly and safely, and we're able to express a certain level of strength in these positions, we can then start looking into doing some low intensity activity. This can be running, walking, hiking, tennis, whatever activity you enjoy that is somewhat repetitive and does not put your body or you under a load of stress, and you can sustain it for a decent amount of time. Finally, once we are taking care of all the prior areas, we can then start looking at some high intensity activity. These could be like doing HIIT or a boot camp or an exercise class. These are usually workouts which include random exercises at a high intense level that you can't sustain for a long time. Hence, this is why those exercises change so much. We're doing one, you get exhausted, go do a different one. A caveat here, most of us who want to look better, feel better, perform better in life, we don't need to be doing high intensity activity. It does have a trade-off and usually goes contrary to what most people want in terms of long-term results. Usually these things have a higher likelihood of injury and they put a lot of stress on the body. And for any of us who have stressful jobs or intense lifestyles, this can push us over the edge and end up in something bad happening. To recap, build a solid foundation. Start with mobility first, building up our bodies to be able to get into positions safely and correctly. Then we can look at strength, being able to express a certain amount of strength in these positions. Then go into activity, starting with low first, and then if you really want to, you can start going into high intensity activities. Here's a little bonus. I'm going to give you the solution to each goal and where all these pieces should fit in. If you want to lose fat, focus on nutrition. Focus on getting a calorie deficit, changing your habits around how you are dealing, how you are approaching food. If you want to build muscle, strength and tone, or you want to lose fat and not ruin your metabolism or look soft at the end of it, get strong. If you want to perform better in your chosen activity, but you are currently not working on your mobility or strength, start with those first. You'll build that foundation that is going to make you perform better, get better in that activity. Many runners that come to us who are frustrated that they're constantly getting injured or they can't improve in their sport, we find out they don't have that underlying mobility or strength or fitness to do it. Once we start working on that, they are pain-free, they run faster, they run longer, and it's easier. In the same way as kids, we weren't told how to learn, we were just told to learn. We were told to move, but we weren't told how to move. It may be later on in life that we're realizing this now, but it's not too late to change. We can start building these foundations that are going to allow us to live a longer, happier, healthier life. We'll chat soon.